Sunrail and alert. Please stand back from the yellow line and please watch the gap while boarding the train. Transit 350 outbound train to Germany. Making stops at Newark Airport, North Elizabeth, Linton, Broadway, Metro Park, Attention, Edison, New Brunswick, Jersey Avenue, Princeton Junction, Hamilton, Amtrak. Please stand back. Please watch the gap in the train.
Stand clear of the closing doors.
The Amtrak 338 was bound to Newark on train number 97 to Montgomery, was disconnected on Amtrak 3 in approximately 5 minutes. West Palm Beach, Delray Beach, Newport Beach. West Palm Beach, Delray Beach, Deerfield Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, and Miami. Please watch the gap when boarding the train.
Norfolk Southern, milepost 17.1, main 1, no defects. Total axle 240, train speed 54 mph, end of transmission.
Town, Coltsville, Parksburg, Lancaster, Mountjoy, Elizabethtown, Middletown, and Harrisburg. Please step back from the yellow line and please watch the gap while boarding the train. Attention, Newark Penn Station passengers. The 4:30 late-bound Pennsylvania train number 42 to New York is operating 23 minutes late. The New Jersey Transit 434 bound Northeast Corridor line to Penn Station, New York is expected to arrive on track 1 in approximately 5 minutes.
Norfolk Southern, milepost 17.1, main 4, no defects. Total axle 436, train speed 57 mph. Norfolk Southern, milepost 17. Main 2, no defects. Total axle 28. Train speed 48 mph. End of transmission.
Okay, so there's supposed to be a lot more trains than this going into and out of the station, and Amtrak's not supposed to be on track A, so let's see if we can figure out what's going on. So this train is supposed to enter track 2, but it's stopped by a red signal. Trying to figure out why the signal is red in the first place. There aren't any trains on the track right now. Okay. These signals are spaced really far apart from each other in this area. And that's part of the problem I'm having. The train can't even enter the station because the next signal is in use. But why is this train... Oh, okay. Made a really bad mistake. I forgot to tell this train to go to the portal after stopping at the station. Now it's just blocking up the main line. I should be able to just drive it into the portal and that should fix the problem. And the train should hopefully start coming into the station again. If all is right in this world. Trains are starting to pile up on this side of the line too. I don't know what's going on here. I've never seen this line pile up this much in real life. I must be doing something wrong. That Amtrak train has a red signal. Let's see why it's red. Well, the signal is spaced really far apart from each other. Okay, I see what the problem is. For whatever reason, this switch is locked to the left and therefore blocked. And for that reason, the Amtrak train can't get clearance into the station. What I don't understand is who's locking this switch? It can't be the GG1 because he's on a different track entirely. And the Amtrak train doesn't even need to go to the left. I had that switch set to the right by default because that leads to track 3 on the main line without any
Milepost 1. Point. Main 4. Rail. Axle 1. Critical. Alarm. Hotbox. North. Axle 1. 9.
And that defect detector can't even talk. Okay, the Amtrak train that arrived on track A was supposed to arrive on track 1, but I don't even think he knows that because he went right through the station without stopping. As soon as the line cleared up, he just kept going forward. He didn't even try to find track 1. What I don't understand is, why didn't we go to track 1 by default? I have the switches set so that the train automatically goes to the platform that I assigned it to. For example, on track 1 on the main line, I have all the tracks aligned so that they lead to track 1 in the station. So you're on track 1, go in a straight line, it'll take you right to track 1 in the station. That's the way it was supposed to be set up, but something must not be set correctly. So, this signal is still red apparently. It says line ahead is unsignaled. What is it trying to do? The station's right here, why doesn't it just go to it? Look at that, it's a PATH train coming down the Newark drawbridge. Make a Railfanning video out of this if I have to keep aligning the switches myself. So that's obviously going to have to be fixed. Now let's see if we can figure out why this train isn't moving. Still has a red signal, I see. Oh yeah, it was red because I'm guessing the GG1 was blocking it, even though he didn't need that switch. Why would you lock the switch in the direction other than the one you need it in? I don't know what's going on with these drivers. You do plan on stopping, right? It doesn't look like it. Yeah, he's going right through the station. Yep, he went right through the station without stopping, which is not what I told him to do. He was supposed to stop on track 2. He got half of the message right, though. At least he made it to track 2. Just didn't stop there. I don't know what it is with this route, but sometimes when I tell the trains to drive to a trigger, they just blow through it without stopping. And then they just keep going until they get to the portal. I don't know why that's happening on this route. I usually don't have that problem. Why is this switch locked to the left? Okay, the Acela Express went rogue and just ignored all of the orders I gave it. I told it to raise the pantograph and close the doors before driving, but it didn't do any of that. Now the doors are open and the pantograph is down. It's a miracle it even made it this far with the pantograph down. Must be running on diesel somehow. Anyway, trying to click on this locomotive so I can do something to it, some kind of control or something, but I can't even click on it. Won't let me control it at all. Right now, the only trains that are working are the PATH trains, which is ironic because their lines aren't even finished yet. It won't let me click on this locomotive at all. I have absolutely no control over it.
One 7 2 train speed 55 mph. End of transmission.
Alright, let's try to get this train into the station at least before the passengers start asking for their money back. When the Warrington Valley line kept getting stuck on its way to Newark, I made changes to the tracks that were less realistic, but it got the job done. And that's pretty much what I'm going to do to solve these problems right now. There aren't enough signals for the train to make it to the station, so I'm going to add some signals on the line so that the train can get into the station. And that way they don't have to control a whole bunch of switches just to get to the platform. train is stuck on track 5. The track mark I told it to go to is right here, but for some reason it won't go to it. It drives up in front of the track mark, then it stops, and instead of going to the next message, it just stays where it is. And I've been having that trouble a lot with this route only, and I'm not sure what's causing it. It does seem to be a one-time thing, though, because later I tried this exact same train and didn't get any issues with it.
Stand clear of the closing doors. Stand clear of the closing doors.
Okay, note to self, do not use these Amtrak signals next to a portal because for some reason, even when the line is clear, if you put these signals in front of a portal, it'll display a red signal, blocking the train from entering the portal. It says line ahead is clear into portal, but the signal is still red and the train won't go through it. So, for this situation, I don't know, I guess put an invisible signal behind it or something, or just don't use the signal near a portal. Okay, let's see if we can solve the problem with this signal. Okay, notice that when you put a train in front of a signal, it doesn't change to anything. It's still red, even though the line ahead is supposedly clear. Maybe it's a glitch. Perhaps let's try deleting this signal and putting another one in its place. It's still displaying a red. Try doing it again. Nope, still red. The problem is probably the signal then, if putting a new one on the track doesn't fix the problem. Because this is a glitch I've had with other signals that display a false red. I had to take it off the track and put it back on to fix the problem. But in this case it's not working, so it's an issue with the signal. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to take any random signal and place it behind that signal. Oh, now it's displaying a stop and proceed indication. Okay, now it's displaying a different indication. Oh, now it's saying stop and proceed. That's interesting. Okay, here's a question I ask myself a lot when I try to control
Norfolk
the AI
Southern
train.
milepost 17.1 main 4 critical alarm hotbox north rail axle 217 critical alarm.
Why can't the AI drivers understand what cab cars are? They just don't understand the concept of cab cars. Whenever I try to get a New Jersey Transit train with the cab car in front to go somewhere, every time it stops at a station, it always immediately changes direction after it stops at the station. Then it drives the wrong way down the main line with the locomotive in front. It just can't understand that when the cab car is in front, it's supposed to run in reverse. The only way I can get it to do what I say is if I put these track direction markers all over the place, so that when it tries to reverse, it'll hit a track direction marker facing the other way. But sometimes they even ignore those. So another thing I do is I put an invisible signal in front of the track direction marker, so that not only will it have a track direction marker facing the opposite way, but it will also get a red light. Now, the only thing these trains ever listen to is red lights sometimes. So that's the only thing I can do to stop them from reversing. Even then, when they realize they can't reverse, sometimes they just stay there. They're so stubborn sometimes. If the cab car is in front and the train is stuck because it's confused and can't figure out which direction it's supposed to run, using the change train direction driver command seems to work. What this basically does is, right now it's thinking the locomotive is in front. Changing the train direction will make it think the cab car is in front, and it'll actually start reversing. A lot of times when I program AI trains with a cab car in front to stop at a station, I have to tell it to change the train direction before leaving the station, because it already has it set in its mind that the locomotive is in the front. Now, I don't have this problem with the Amtrak cab cars or the Metro cab car, because those are scripted as locomotives and not train cars. Technically, realistically speaking, it would make more sense if the cab cars were scripted as regular train cars because they don't have engines in them. But the game does not like running trains with a train car in front instead of a locomotive. It'll always favor the direction where the locomotive is in front. So, scripting a cab car as a locomotive is actually better in this situation.